What's happening there, Reject Nation? If you've clicked on this video because you're excited for Multiverse of Madness, leave a like. That would be so appreciated. So, we got a few things to discuss today. First off, downloaded this video, haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's Patrick Stewart perhaps confirming that he's actually in Multiverse of Madness. Enough with the shenanigans! I wanted to talk about how this could actually open up the door for Hugh Jackman to return as Wolverine. I have a little bit of a theory. Greg's been putting out some theories lately, and I got a small one that I want to share with you guys of how it could actually work and not discredit the events of Logan. Have I got your curiosity? All right,
people want.
Let's go into this.
A commercial comes on for a Marvel movie in which someone kind of sounds like you. How quickly does your phone go off, and is there any part of you that thinks, I really just want to watch the game. I wasn't prepared for this.
Well, I had my phone turned off as it happened, and so I didn't hear anything. It wasn't until the next morning when I woke up and looked at my phone and found that I had been bombarded with responses, and that my PR people had sent me reactions that they had detailed and passed on to me. And I actually didn't recognize my own voice. It sounded different. Whether I had a cold or something at the time, I don't know. But I was astonished.
It's a variant.
And all they saw was the back of my shoulder and I think my earlobe, nothing else, that there would have been so many connections made. But it pleased me.
Jake, how does this look like? I just got the goddamn scoop. Gotta wait for the exact right time to drop this information.
He just said, didn't recognize my own voice right there. Yeah, that's pretty much him confirming it. Maybe Kevin Feige was like, you don't have to deny it, man.
You're in the trailer. That's a pretty good confidence.
It's the reason we use you. We don't want people not to see it. It's fine.
You don't have to worry. We're far past Alfred Molina now. You're a veteran. You can do what you want.
It's not some Andrew Garfield situation.
You're here to replicate the level of multiversal hype that the Spider-Man trailers got out of the older Spider-Man villains. Like, please, tell people you're in the movie.
Interesting medium we're living in now where we just don't believe anyone anymore. That's pretty much a confirmation. But guys, listen, we already knew that Patrick Stewart was going to be in here. Let's talk about Wolverine really quick. Now, there's been a lot of reports coming out as of late. There might be a Wolverine who shows up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but it will be a different actor playing Wolverine. It could be the new version for the MCU. Could just be a variant from one of the many multiverses. I think if they were to bring in a Wolverine, I don't know which one would be more acceptable for audiences. Like, should it be the new, this is our way of introducing a new Wolverine? It's like, is it too much to do in this new movie to like, here's where we're establishing our brand new Wolverine amidst everything, when the main takeaway should be, you know, all the other cameos. No, it should be Scarlet Witch. Like Doctor Strange in the main story. I saw some people passing this around and I couldn't quite find the actual source of this, but it got me thinking of how it could actually work, because I started thinking about the timelines with Logan and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. As I saw people saying Hugh Jackman said he would return if Patrick Stewart returns. And I've been like Googling, trying to find like, where did Hugh Jackman say this and why do people believe this? I can't actually find that piece of information. So if you guys find it, if you want to link it in the comments, that would be very much appreciated, because I personally can't find that piece of information. But then I started thinking about, wait a minute, if we look at the events of Patrick Stewart in Logan, that movie took place in 2029 specifically. And there's been a lot of theories. It's like, is Patrick Stewart Charles Xavier? Is he actually, you know, a variant? Is he from the X-Men animated show? Is he some different? Is he from the Fox X-Men universe? Seems like the most exciting thing you would pull is pulling from the Fox X-Men universe. But will that undo the events of Logan? No, because Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is reported to take place in 2023. So when you're looking at the actual years, like, you could actually see a scenario, because there's such a time jump in the X-Men movies from the last time you were with Charles Xavier, specifically Patrick Stewart, to when you see him in Logan, where he's got that brain degenerative disease that's caused him to have these effects where he's like killed some of the X-Men off and a bunch of people as well, including, you know, so he's at this really tumultuous time in his life. So I'm like, whoa, you could even, if that theory lines up of that, a lot of people have now shared, what if there was like a Scarlet Witch or a Wanda event that happened in the Fox X-Men universe that we just didn't get to see? What if something like that actually took like repercussions or damage to him in what occurs in Logan? But then again, you know, it's like, if Patrick Stewart, you know, gets offed in Multiverse of Madness, then I'm like, that totally throws all that out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a compelling theory because I can see a way, especially if
Where you don't mess with the timeline.
yeah, where that's I feel like that would be the only way for me that fans would accept both the return of Patrick Stewart Xavier and the return of Hugh Jackman's Logan would be, if it's in a way that is not only respectful to the current timeline, but that maybe even also has some kind of clever way of embellishing that existing timeline and feeling like it's not only a fun inclusion but also essential. And I wonder if maybe they might do both as a means of tempering that. You could get a little bit with Hugh Jackman, have him be, you know, the requisite sort of fist-pumping appearance in the MCU we've all been hoping for, but then also take it as the opportunity to do like a low-key screen test for whoever you might be considering to be the next Logan or Wolverine. And two, I mean, I personally have been sitting here wondering, what if we get more than one of some of these people? What if they're teasing us with a Patrick Stewart, and then the idea that, you know, if that quote you mentioned is true, that Hugh Jackman would come back if he's involved, what other versions of them might we see and how many? I feel like, you know, it's not the point, so we're not going to see a million, but we could see a couple, you know, especially as Doctor Strange traverses, and especially as he deals with the Illuminati, who are clearly, you know, some of the most powerful beings in each of their respective universes and probably carry that across some of their variants. I feel like, there's a broad spectrum of possibility.
There's a whole lot you can do, because the common theory now is that, you know, what if there were mutants already in the MCU? Yeah, New Rockstars totally did their video first, right? Yeah, like that's the common theory that's been going around. So this wouldn't be like a combination of the Fox universe and Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. Yeah, we would just like bring back the mutants that were just supposed to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You could still like send back Logan and Patrick Stewart, so that way their movie still plays out.
Yeah, they're still relegated, they still exist, leaves them on their timeline. Don't do something where they like snatch Wolverine right as he's about to die in Logan or something like that, and be like, you know, we own you again. Do something where you can place them back when everything is concluded by the end, you know.
But that's just a little side thought that I had. Yeah, there's been reports about like Hugh Jackman meeting with Kevin Feige, which I believe that Kevin Feige, with everything what they've been bringing back, I could totally see Kevin Feige just being like, dude, what do I got to do to get you to appear?
I will do anything.
Like,
name your price.
We already got the original Spideys. If we can get you back, oh my god.
This movie will break the box office all over again.
But there's been reports about him trying to get him back for Secret Wars specifically, which actually seems more likely than for actually Multiverse of Madness. You know, I'm not eliminating Hugh Jackman returning for a cameo, especially because they did work together on the first X-Men movie. I think that'd just be a good full circle. But guys, what do you think about all this? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe, click that bell, hit that like button. We will catch you guys soon.